Recently, I made a video titled, "Here's Why I Quit Shampoo," which explained how I went from being an almost daily user of shampoo to not using any at all. During the video, I mentioned that I had already given up all shower soaps, which resulted in a lot of comments and questions. Some of the most common ones were, what do you use on your body if you stop using soap? How do you clean yourself without soap? And what is the alternative to soap? Well, you are in for a treat, as in this video I will share with you a much better way to clean your skin now that soap is out of the picture. The technique can eliminate the problems from chemicals on your skin and bring your body's health to a high level. I have always loved the smell of nice soaps and never really thought if this was something I should give up. Soaps were part of my daily routine, and embarrassingly, I was one of those girls who had my shower shelf full of products until a few years ago. Admittedly, I was intrigued that my husband Mark never used soap on his body and yet always had fresh skin. But I put this down to his regular endurance training and sweating that was flushing out his skin multiple times a week. However, there's no way most of us want to push our bodies that hard, at least certainly not me. One thing I noticed with getting a little bit older was that my skin was more susceptible to dryness. Shower soaps definitely seemed to make this worse, even if I bought the so-called moisturizing ones. It meant I would have to combat the effects with even more body moisturizers after my shower. However, I was still reluctant to give up soap because I thought I would start smelling. And even if I couldn't smell anything, I might start getting funny looks from friends and family. Then one day I stumbled across an online article about dry brushing. I had never heard of this before and decided to do some research into the subject. Dry brushing is essentially full body exfoliation using a brush that effectively lifts off the skin's outer layer, revealing the beautiful new skin underneath. Our bodies remove toxins via the skin because it is the largest organ. In fact, potentially 1/3 of toxins are released through the skin via sweating and shedding of skin tissue. From food and cosmetics to pollution in our water supply and environment, even the natural byproducts of our body's own waste, we are surrounded by toxins. Our bodies must process and remove these toxins every day. If there is something not quite right going on in our bodies, it will often show up in some way on our skin. Whether it's a rash, a breakout, bloating, or cellulite, all of these are potential signs of a detoxification process. My training in allopathic medicine led us to believe that skin reactions indicate a particular disease entity, such as measles or Lyme disease. I now know this to be a faulty model, as there are no specific disease entities, simply different conditions, and in this regard the skin is no different. The appearances we see on the skin are a manifestation of the body's attempts to heal itself. There's also the lymphatic system, a complex network of nodules, vessels, and glands that runs throughout our entire bodies, often just under the skin. This system requires a little extra attention from us. The main function of the lymphatic system is to cleanse toxins and move out breakdown products. Without a pump to actually move these toxins through the system, it's up to us to help the system work more efficiently through movement, such as exercise and massage. If we are less active, then we can also help our lymphatic system along the way with dry brushing. But no matter what your level of activity, dry brushing is almost guaranteed to bring you benefits for your skin and beyond. So, how do you dry brush? First, you will need to obtain the right brush, which is pretty straightforward. Mine is a long-handled bath brush with natural bristles that can be bought for about New Zealand $10 or US $5. These are fairly generic brushes and can be found easily at supermarkets and many health shops. If you prefer something more upmarket, that's fine, but my experience has been that a modestly priced brush will do exactly what you need. I start dry brushing about 5 minutes before my shower. The process is pretty simple, starting at your feet, Gently brush towards your heart in long, sweeping motions. Repeat over the same area 6 to 10 times. Once you've brushed over the entirety of your legs, brush over your bum, from the back up over the hip and outer thigh towards the groin. Next, work on your hands and arms, beginning at your fingers and palms and working up towards your armpits and shoulders. Be sure to pay careful attention to your armpits, as there are many lymph nodes there. Work in gentle circular motions, both clockwise and counterclockwise. Then brush over your chest and very gently in circular motions. Brush in circular strokes around the abdomen. Brush from the base of the back up towards the neck and jawline until you have covered every inch of your body. The whole process should take about 5 minutes, although my husband Mark seems to be able to get his whole body done in about 3 minutes with faster brushing. I like to dry brush once a week, but there are no hard and fast rules, so you can work out your best practice. You'll probably be amazed to see how much dead skin sloughs off from this process and how smooth and soft your skin will feel after your shower. I don't recommend dry brushing your neck or face, as the skin is more delicate in these areas, but go ahead and try dry brushing and see what you think after a month. The key is to be firm, but not so vigorous that it causes pain or skin damage. Now, what is my secret ingredient that I use instead of soap? I use water. You can watch my video on water to learn more about life's elixir. As you may already know, water is a universal solvent and is remarkable at removing all manner of substances. You really don't need anything else. Obviously, your water source is important, and if your shower water is chlorinated, then it is highly advisable to filter it out. The only times I will use soap is when I wash my hands after handling certain adherent food products, or if I have grease on my hands that won't come off with only water. I am a fan of goat's milk soap, as it doesn't contain any nasty chemicals and is very helpful for dry skin. Do I smell? This is an important question, but the more important question is, why does the body smell? When we emit an unpleasant odor, it is usually a sign that our body is toxic in some regard. When it comes to your health, it is better to work out what is wrong on the inside rather than applying cover-up smells on the outside. We are what we eat and drink, and a bad smell is sometimes a reflection of dietary errors, often excessive intake. If this is the case, then the cure is cleaning up the diet, potentially losing some weight, starting or increasing exercising, and avoiding environmental toxins. Negative thoughts can also manifest as unpleasant smells due to the resulting physiological responses that restrict blood flow to many areas of the body. Perfumes and soaps are chemicals that are designed to cover up your natural scent, so that you don't know if anything is wrong with your body. Makers of popular perfumes, colognes, and body sprays market their scents with terms like floral, exotic, or musky, but they don't disclose that many scents are actually a complex cocktail of natural essences as well as synthetic chemicals, often petrochemicals. In fact, lab tests commissioned by the Campaign for Safe Cosmetics and analysed by the Environmental Working Group revealed 38 hidden chemicals in 17 name-brand fragrance products. The average fragrance product tested contained 14 secret chemicals that were not disclosed by the manufacturers on their labels. Among them are chemicals associated with hormone disruption and allergic reactions, and many substances that have not been assessed for safety in personal care products. Also in the ranks of undisclosed ingredients are chemicals with troubling hazardous properties or with a propensity to accumulate in human tissues. I now very rarely use perfumes or fragrances of any kind, as they are largely chemicals that are unhelpful for the body. And with optimal health, there are no smells to cover up. I shower every day using only water, and as mentioned, I do a 5-minute dry brush over my whole body once a week. That's all, folks. We have been gifted these perfect bodies, and it is unwise to interfere with nature's way. If someone has advised you to swallow drugs or apply pharmaceutical preparations in order to improve your skin's health, then keep in mind that this is not a cure, but a cover-up strategy by allopathic medicine. While it may improve the appearance of the skin, unfortunately it fails to address the underlying reasons as to why the skin manifested that way in the first place. The cover-up strategy then leads to even more serious problems for the body in the long run, as its healing attempts have been sabotaged. I've found with health that the simplest of changes have had the biggest impacts on my overall well-being and positive attitude to life. Dry brushing and no soap has been one of those changes, and if you haven't tried it already, then please consider giving it a try this week. I hope you found this video helpful and will continue to join me on this journey as I share my tips for living and achieving your fullest potential for health. If you enjoyed this video, please visit supportdrsam.com